Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing this morning? Let me find my live chat. It's snowing here, guys. Again, we're getting a big snow. I bet it's already snowed 2 to 3 inches outside. If it keeps snowing, I'm going to go build a snowman for real. I should have done it last time. Hey, Blue West, welcome. Good morning. Steve, Maidment, good morning. Welcome. Melanie Christina, TC. Sapphire, good morning. Is it snowing in Michigan, Sapphire? It's really coming down here when actually, Mark went to let the animals out this morning, but they didn't even come out because it was snowing. The chickens don't like it when it's cold and wet. Neither does my goat. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Charlene, good morning. How are y'all doing? So I got us some things to talk about this morning. Before I get started, I just want to say I did not get to finish the Chris Watts book last night because I fell asleep reading it. Yeah, I went right to sleep. So I'm going to try to finish that up today. I did get an Anne Rule book through the Kindle, The Stranger Beside Me, and I'm thinking about having a book club for the channel members. The only thing about that is if we did it to where I read the book to you guys, it would take forever to get through the book. But I'm going to figure something out because we only, have a channel member stream once a week. Hey, faithful one, Charlie Girl says, good morning. How are y'all? So this morning I got us some things to talk about. Before we get started on the crime, I want to tell y'all it's Elvis Presley's birthday. He would have been 86 years old today. He was born in 1935. One of my favorite songs that he sings is Suspicious Minds. I love that song. I also like Jailhouse Rock. The song Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. Love that one. There's a bunch. Blue Suede Shoes. I like that song. I like some of the movies that he's in, but I can't think of the names of them. I tried to think this morning and I just couldn't think of the names. I should have looked it up, but I didn't have time. Any Elvis fans in here? Happy birthday, Aaron Elvis Presley. Did you know he actually had a twin? Elvis had a twin brother that was born 35 minutes before him. He was stillborn, and his name was Jesse. Jesse Presley. I didn't know that he had a twin that died at birth. I was looking up some Elvis Presley facts this morning. I've been wanting to do a video and fix one of Elvis Presley's favorite foods. And it is a fried peanut butter banana sandwich. I watched a video on how his former maid and cook used to fix that. She would toast the bread in a toaster oven, get it good and toasted, then put peanut butter and bananas on the bread and fry it in a skillet with butter. That sounds so good. I'm going to try that. My mother absolutely loved Elvis. So did my great-grandmother, the one I'm named after. She loved Elvis Presley and, gosh, what's that other guy's name? Charlie Pride. Is it Pride or Price? Crap, I can't remember, but she loved him. Now, my papa's sister went to see Elvis in concert several different times. Charlie Girl says, how ironic, I'm eating a peanut butter and banana Cliff Bar. Hey, you got to try the fried peanut butter and banana sandwich. I'm going to try it. I've been saying it forever, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a video on it. I make those sandwiches all the time for my preschoolers. Oh, do you? I mean, of course, I've ate peanut butter and banana sandwich, but I've never ate a fried one. Never heard of it being fried until I ran across that video of Elvis's cook. Okay. Since I told you about Elvis. I'm going to tell y'all about the West brothers real quick. So the reward offered now is $50,000. The city, California City, has put up another $25,000. So altogether, it's $50,000 now. I hope that they get a break in this case, but hey, look, I don't think the public is going to have any information because I think the adoptive parents did something to these two little boys. And I want you to just look at that little cute face. They are the cutest. I really hope and pray that they find them safe and sound, but I have a feeling that they're not going to. I have a bad feeling. Okay, a $25,000 reward has been provided by California City in connection to the disappearance of two California boys reported missing on December 21st. ABC 23 reports that the reward was approved by California City Council members on Thursday and will be matched to a $25,000 reward already in place donated by area businesses. Orson and Orinn West, ages 3 and 4, were last seen on December 21st at a home in the 10,700 block of Aspen Avenue in California City at around 5:45 p.m. ATLA 5 reports the boys' adopted father, Trezell West, said the children were in the backyard playing when he stepped out briefly to open a gate and gather wood. The boy's adopted mother, Jacqueline West, said she was inside wrapping presents. I want to know if she was wrapping any presents for Orinn and Orson. I wonder if they had any presents inside the home. I doubt it, because I think these boys have been gone for a while. During a press conference, Trezell West explained that he accidentally left the gate open after gathering wood. Now, one side of the gate, one of the doors on the gate automatically shuts. That's what this other guy that's been doing live streams in front of the house, that's what he said the previous owner had told him. That one of the gates, when it's opened, it automatically shuts. But the gate the boys allegedly got out of does not automatically shut if it's open. Okay, I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts. So we thought it was a good idea that our youngest two go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Now, allegedly, one of the neighbors had this family on camera. I believe it was December 19th. And only 4 kids were getting into the van. Now, they got 6 kids total. They got 4 adopted kids and 2 biological kids there. But there was only allegedly 4 kids seen getting into the van. Okay, I realized I left the back gate open. I panicked. I came inside the house, searched the house, and me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street in both directions. It was getting dark. It was getting cold. Now, I don't know why he uses that phrase, once that didn't pan out. And we saw yesterday surveillance footage of him getting into his van to go look for the kids. This was around the time that he said they disappeared. Now, he was taking his sweet time, it looked like to me, getting in his van, and he wasn't gone for about 4 or 5 minutes. That's it. He didn't look for the kids that great. Then he came back. He gets out of the van. He stands in front of the van. He's standing in front of a tree. He makes no effort to go to the backyard or anything. And his wife doesn't even come outside to look for her 2 toddlers that are missing. That's a little strange. You know why she didn't come out to look? Because they know where those boys are at. And they know they're not missing. They did something to them. Okay. On December 31st, 1st, the California City Cannabis Dispensary Greenstone said it would pay $10,000 to the person or persons who provide information leading to the finding of Orinn and Orson, marking the first reward offered in the case. On the same day, Rick's Preferred Towing Shop offered the second reward. Another business added in an additional funds shortly after. Oh, I'm going to kill Mark. He just turned on the vacuum cleaner. Numerous agencies, including the FBI, have been working nonstop in an effort to find the boys. Volunteer groups have searched throughout the neighborhood and the surrounding desert. Our hearts and prayers go out to these babies, Greenstone Dispensary owners, Rick and Amanda Jones, told 23 ABC. We hope offering a reward for information will help. And that's very kind of them to put up their own money. Everyone that put up money. This whole community is helping search for these two boys. They're doing more than the adoptive parents. Of course, their excuse is police told them not to engage with the public. Don't be out looking for your missing kids. That's what they told them. Bullshit. Okay, so the West couple adopted the boys in 2019. They have 4 other children, including 2 biological and 2 adopted children. Walker said the couple's other children are now in the care of CPS. Now, these are older children. I saw a picture yesterday. It's all boys. All 6 kids were boys, are boys. And one of the boys looks to be at least 9 or 10 years old to me. Old enough to be interviewed by the police. The one kid was, I know for sure. I'd say that police have already talked to them. Let me get over to my chat. Oh, I can't see. Hey, Red Rum, I heard the parents said they were told not to look, stay home. If that is accurate, that usually means the police don't want them tampering with anything. They know they're involved. Oh, my lighter won't work. Yeah, well, if my kid was missing, my 2 kids were missing, I wouldn't care what they told me. I'd be out there doing everything in my power to find my 2 kids. Wouldn't y'all? Hey, Natalie. I mean, the biological mother's been out there searching, and people are giving her a hard time on social media. Look, people make mistakes. She probably did what she thought was best for her kids at the time. I'm not going to judge her for this. Of course, yes, I'm curious to know why they were in foster care. Of course, I'm curious about it, but I just don't think it's relevant right now. What's relevant is the boys are missing. And these 2 weirdos, Jacqueline and Trezell, were the last ones that seen them. If those boys had slipped out of that gate, they would have been found by now, I believe. Is it possible a predator could have been coming by at the right time and snagged them? That's a possibility. Is it a possibility they wandered off into the desert, got lost? Yeah, but I don't think that's what happened. My gut tells me that there is foul play involved, and I do not buy their story. How come the dog didn't pick up the scent of those boys then? A canine dog, a trained dog. How come it didn't pick up no scent of them if they'd been in the backyard playing with chalk? Now, allegedly, the other kids was out of town visiting their grandparents. So it would have been only the 2 toddlers home, the West brothers. Something's just not right. In that surveillance video, that man did not seem panicked, like there was 2 little boys missing. His 2 kids were missing. He did not seem panicked at all. He took his sweet damn time. And he was only gone 4 to 5 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes, that's no time. He couldn't have done much looking for them. Here's what I think. I think Christmas was coming up. These boys had been gone for a while, and they didn't have no choice but to report them missing because family and friends would have probably been bringing gifts, coming by, wanting to see the boys. The boys were gone because they done murdered them, so they had to report them missing. That's my theory. Steve is from London, across the pond. Oh, that's so cool, Steve. Welcome. I bet my accent sounds so weird to you, doesn't it? I love the UK accent, by the way. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Let me get to my notes about them. I got a special place in my binder for the West brothers here. Why did she want them to go outside and play with chalk? Because she was wrapping presents? She wanted them out of the house? Is that the excuse? Was there any evidence that kids had even played with chalk outside? Which I guess even if there was evidence of it, doesn't mean that Orinn and Orson played with the chalk. It could have been one of the other kids from a previous time. I'm confused about that they were adopted or in foster care. Yeah, well, they came to the West home in 2018. It doesn't say why. And then in 2019, they adopted them. Now, I don't know what the adoption and foster care laws are in California, but here they give you a chance to get your kids back. I'm just wondering, did she sign up her rights or were her rights terminated by the state? I really don't think it matters right now. What matters is finding them, but yes, I am curious about it. I really am. What people make of only 4 kids on CCTV getting into the van? So suspicious. No wonder this case taken off on a few channels. Yeah, I wonder what their excuse would be for that. Why was there only 4 kids, allegedly, getting into that van? I think that was the same day, December 19th, that they said that they all went shopping. All the kids went. So if they all went shopping, there should be a store with a security camera. It's got footage of those 2 boys. Should have footage of the whole family. Remember how they said the grandparents took some kids on vacation? I wondered the timeline of that. Good question, Natalie. Let me write that down. I like to write things down and then try to find the answer. And why didn't the other boys go with the grandparents? That's a good question. When is the actual last time that anyone laid their eyes on these 2 little boys? That's something else I want to know. Last time they were actually seen by family, friends, someone. I read that the mother hadn't saw the kids since they went into foster care. Ain't that sad, guys? It's so sad to think they was took from her care for a reason and put into this home with the West. And foster homes and people who adopt, they're supposed to take good care of the kids. That didn't happen in this case. I got a feeling that these kids were mistreated by these 2 weirdos. That's what I think. Hey, nurse teacher. That's what I want to know, Cece. Who saw them and when? Exactly. I want to know that too. When was the last time they were actually seen? But can we trust anything that comes from that family's mouth? The adopted family? Probably not. I heard that they had a family member that's in the NAACP, high profile family member, and they've not even got that person to help them. I mean, they got a big platform that they could use to put the word out about these boys. They've not even done that. Something's not right. Yes, they say a shopping trip. They weren't gone that long in the area, so barren landscape. If they were actually on that shopping trip, there should be evidence of that. I'd like to see the video footage of only 4 kids getting into the van. I've only saw the video of when he went to look for the boys. That poor mother looked so distraught looking for her kids and the other two not out looking. Yeah, and you know what she said? She said she felt like her boys were close. Mothers have these natural instincts, So maybe they are close by somewhere. She did look distraught, and my heart breaks for her because I know that she is feeling a lot of guilt right now because her kids were in foster care. I'm not judging her for it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. At least she was out there trying to look for her kids. The two adoptive parents weren't doing crap. Hell, when they first went missing, that guy was just gone 4 or 5 minutes looking for his kids. I know I keep repeating that, but it just bum puzzles me. How someone could say that they're panicked, but they only go to look for their two missing little boys for 4 to 5 minutes. That's not panicked. They don't look like panic to me. The mother wasn't panicked at all because her ass didn't even come out of the damn house. I got a feeling that there's going to be a break in this case this weekend. I hope and pray that they find the boys safe and sound. I have thought, guys, could this be a hoax? Could they have took these two boys and hid them out somewhere? Done this for attention or something? It's happened before. I really don't think that's happened in this case, but there was a man, and there was actually another case of a woman who did this too, but took their kids and hid them behind a fake wall in the house. This guy reported his son missing. The whole time he was in his house, had him hid behind a wall. When the news broke, they had found his kid in his house behind a wall. He was doing an interview with Nancy Grace at that very moment. And you should have saw the look on his face. He knew he was busted. I mean, it's happened before. I always say anything's possible, because it is. Anything's possible. But I really think there's some foul play involved here. And I think those two adoptive parents are responsible for these boys' disappearances. That's what I think. Anyways. Next, what was I going to tell y'all? Oh, let me find my next. I'm going to tell y'all about Rodney Alcala. They're going to be, let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. Y'all, please pray for the West brothers. Please pray that we're all wrong and they find them safe and sound. I hope they do, but I just have the worst feeling. And when I get these feelings, they're hardly ever wrong. So the dating game killer, Rodney Alcala, they're going to be doing an episode on him on 2020 on Friday night. The reason they call him the dating game killer is because he actually went on this dating game show. I believe it was in 1978. Let me get back to my topics here. Yeah, it was September 13th, 1978. Now, Rodney was convicted. Let me see. How many murders was he convicted of? I believe 5 murders altogether. And he got the death sentence. He's in California. He was convicted of killing. The first person he was convicted of killing was a 12-year-old little girl named Robin Samso. Let me read this to y'all. An upcoming episode of 2020 will analyze how detectives linked dating game serial killer Rodney Alcala to 8 murders in the 1970s. Oh, I thought it was 5. Scheduled to air on Friday, the 2020 episode will detail how Rodney's arrest for Robin Samso's July 1979 murder exposed the photographer's secret life as a serial killer. Alcala is believed to abducted Samso after she left the beach for ballet practice. She was at the beach with some of her friends. Her body was found nearly 2 weeks later in San Gabriel Mountains. Police publicized a composite sketch of the suspect based on Wilbert's description. Several people, including Alcala's parole officer, recognized Rodney as the suspect and alerted authorities. Rodney was arrested for Samso's murder later that same month. At the time of his arrest, police discovered a receipt for a self-storage facility outside of Seattle, Washington, leading them to a locker containing hundreds of pictures of women, girls, and boys. Some of the images showed them in nude or uncompromising positions. ABC reported that the storage locker also contained jewelry, possibly belonging to his victims. He had to have their jewelry and photos as trophies. In 1980, Rodney stood trial for Samso's murder and was sentenced to death. In 2001, he appealed a second time and had his death sentence overturned on the grounds that his lawyer failed to provide an adequate defense. 2 years later, investigators used DNA testing on the jewelry found in Rodney's locker and matched it to Charlotte Lamb, Jill Parento, I think that's how you say it, and Georgia Wixted and Jill Barcombe. All 4 women were found murdered in separate instances in California between 1977 and 1979. In 2010, Rodney Alcala was sentenced to death for the 4 women's murders. In 2012, he was sentenced to 25 years to life for the cold case murders of 2 women in New York City. Friday's 2020 episode will explore what transpired behind the scenes when Rodney Alcala appeared on The Dating Game in 1978, amid the photographer's murderous rampage. By the time Rodney was on the show, he had already murdered 5 women and had a child molestation conviction for a 1968 incident involving an 8-year-old girl. Producers were reportedly unaware of Rodney's criminal history, as background checks were not done at the time. Can you imagine? Though Rodney was initially charged with attempted murder in the 1968 case, he was allowed to plead guilty to lesser charges because the victim had moved to Mexico and her family would not allow her to return to California to testify. He ultimately served only 3 years in prison. Rodney was one of 3 bachelors competing for a date with Bachelorette Cheryl Bradshaw. Rodney won, but the next day, Cheryl Bradshaw reportedly told the show coordinator, Ellen Metzger, she was not going out with him because he gave off weird vibes. He's very strange. I'm not comfortable, Bradshaw said about Rodney Alcala. Other people on set, including the executive producer, also said Alcala made them feel uncomfortable. He was a little creepy. I noticed that right away, a contestant who competed against Alcala said. As Rodney's health declines, detectives rush to find out how many more women he victimized. The convicted killer is bedridden at Corcoran, something like that, state prison in California, and refuses to tell authorities if there are other victims. In September 2006, Rodney was charged with Chris Thornton's first-degree murder in Wyoming. Authorities decided not to extradite Rodney to Wyoming due to his failing health. Thornton 27, who was from Texas, vanished in Wyoming during a road trip with her boyfriend. She was pregnant at the time. 5 years after Thornton's 1977 disappearance, a herder discovered human bones in Granger, Wyoming. The bones of an unborn child were found alongside the remains. The case remained cold until 2013, when California police publicized the photographs discovered in Rodney's storage locker in 1979. Thornton's long-lost sister told 2020 that her son alerted her to an article including the images, leading her to find a snapshot of a woman on a motorcycle who resembled Thornton. Thornton's long-lost sister submitted her DNA into a national database in 2015, resulting in the unidentified remains being identified as Thornton and linking Rodney Alcala to the slaying. Rodney allegedly admitted to taking the picture of Thornton on the motorcycle, but maintains he did not kill her. The case against him in Wyoming remains open, and he has not entered a plea. Okay, let's watch his little dating game video here. I'll have to unplug my mic.
So attractive. The women are going to love him. He had long black hair, confident,
and he's just about to make his primetime debut.
narcissistic, predatory.
It has got to be one of the creepiest moments on TV.
There's somebody so cruel and evil.
Oh my God, a serial killer.
Serial killers and psychopathic people.
Is that the
They
one?
could be your next door neighbor. And you wouldn't know.
Friday night on ABC.
That's not the one I wanted to play. Oh crap, I've highlighted everything. Let's see, let's play this one.
I was with my friend Patty and decided to go to Sunset Beach. We were approached by Alcala.
And he says, I'm a photographer, and hey, if you could just, skate this way, I'll take some photos.
And I said, oh, that's okay, I'll just help him out.
And there's a series of these photographs that are taken by Rodney Alcala. He was a formally trained photographer, which really played into his method of luring these women and young girls into vulnerable positions.
It's my opinion with regard to Rodney that deviant behavior is always preceded by deviant fantasy. The taking the pictures, going around looking for little girls.
It'll be an interesting
sizing
episode.
people up.
It's a part of the constellation of the Rodney Alcala. The encounter with Lori Wirtz is very important for two different reasons. Number one, it shows that he's actually down at Huntington Beach that day, which he later denies. And it also shows that he's actively hunting for his next victim.
He was asking me all kinds of questions, like where I'm from, my name, my age. He tried really hard to get me in the car. He tried to get me in the car and leave my friend on the beach.
She doesn't bite, won't get in his car.
He started to drive away, and I did see that he was driving toward Huntington Beach, and that was the last I saw of him.
That wasn't the one I was wanting to watch. Let me find it. Okay, it froze on me for a second. There was another clip somewhere. Oh, here it is.
It's the dating game. Here's the star of our show, your host, Jim Lang.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
and welcome to the dating game. And we'll get right underway. It's time to meet our first three eligible bachelors for game number one. And here they are. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Bachelor number one is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome.
There he
It's
is.
time to meet a young lady for game number one, and here she is. Here's a young lady with a wealth of experience. She once earned a living massaging feet, but she quit when her boss suggested that she work her way up. Then she taught school in Phoenix, Arizona, and now she's here to educate our three bachelors in the art of more. Welcome, if you will, sensational.
And you got to remember, by the time he was on this show, he had done killed 4 or 5 women.
Cheryl Bradshaw. Hello, Cheryl. Don't sit down yet. Just a minute. Want to make sure everything is fixed. Relax. You feel okay? All right. You know, there are 3 bachelors over there. There'll be 1, 2, and 3. Ask them anything you like to find out more about them, except their name, age, occupation, or income. Okay? And we're going to start by having them say hello to you and see how they sound. Number 1, would you say hello to Cheryl, please?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
Okay.
Weirdo.
Here we go.
Bachelor number 1,
Yes.
what's your best time?
The best time is at nighttime,
Why do you say that?
because that's the only time there is.
The only time? What's
That's
wrong
weird.
with morning, afternoon?
Well, they're okay, but nighttime when it really gets good. When you're really ready.
I'm a drama teacher, and I'm going to audition each of you for my private class. Bachelor number
She's a little weird.
1. You're a dirty old man. Take it.
Come on, over here.
Oh, honey, we ought to go out and goodies.
She's weirdo, y'all.
Bachelor number 1, I am serving you for dinner.
Oh,
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Ew.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Later, Bachelor.
Okay. So he actually won the date with her, and she refused to go on the date with him. You know, that probably really pissed him off big time. He is a creep. He had some weird answers. I thought she was a little strange herself, though. Maybe she's just, I don't know, or she's a drama teacher, I guess. It's weird. I'm going to definitely be watching that 2020 episode Friday. Or that would be tonight. It comes on tonight. I'll watch it and let you guys know what I think about it. Anyhow, we'll have to do a live stream about him. I think I've actually got a video up about him somewhere. He was a real weirdo. Okay, what else was I going to tell you about? Oh, yeah, the Jessica Mast case. Jessica Mast was a 4-year-old little girl from Missouri. Back on December 20th, I think it was December 20th, her dad had called 911 and said that he came home, found his wife beat up, their 2-year-old son beat up, and little Jessica was found on the bank of a pond, about froze to death, and he wrapped her up and brought her in the house. Well, the truth finally came out, and what happened was him and his wife allowed their neighbors to beat on little Jessica, beat on her. They molested her. They forced the parents to do it, to sexually abuse her with objects. Anyways, the parents were charged. The neighbors were charged. The mom's name is Jessica. Is it Jessica? No, that's the little girl's name. Hold on, I've got it wrote down wrong. Yeah, I guess her name is Jessica. Hold on, I've got confused here. Let me just read it. 3 of the 4 defendants behind bars in connection with the death of a Missouri child, Jessica Mast, appeared in court Tuesday morning. Ethan Mast, 35, and Courtney Almond, 21. They are the neighbors, and they are not related to the family. They've been charged with second-degree murder related to charges in connection with the death of 4-year-old Jessica. Authorities said the suspects, who were neighbors of the child, beat and tortured her, then dumped her in a freezing pond. Benton County police officers were dispatched to a Benton County home on December 20th after Jessica's father, James Mast, called 911 just before 1 a.m. James said the neighbors severely beat Jessica's mother and their 2-year-old son. He added that his badly beaten 4-year-old daughter was unresponsive inside a bedroom in the home. Police said Ethan Mast is not related to the family. Police arrived and found Jessica wrapped in a blanket, deceased. Ethan Mast and Courtney Augman have been in jail since their arrest last month. Both have pleaded not guilty. James Mast and his wife Mary, oh, that's her name, Mary. I had it wrote down as Jessica, the victim's name. Mary were arrested in late December on child endangerment and assault charges. They also pleaded not guilty. Courtney Augman, along with James and Mary Mast, appeared in court Tuesday. Ethan Mast was not present. He doesn't yet have an attorney. The suspect's lawyer told the court that he's preparing for a later court date to request a bond. Members of the community expressed shock when Mary Mast smiled and laughed as she left the courtroom. She was smirking and smiling. They had just got through talking about her daughter's murder that she participated in. Now, she claims she was made participate in it, but she was smiling and going on.
Investigation and
Take a
talk
look.
with her. We'll be addressing those issues in court.
They took everything from her. Members of the Springfield organization Child Advocacy Against Pedophilia were also in the courtroom.
Seeing them was actually very hard, especially the mom. She laughed. She was laughing on the way outside the courtroom, and I find nothing funny, not one thing funny about this case, about her daughter's death.
Watch her.
And as soon as she turned around from her attorney, there was the biggest smile on her face, and she laughed all the way walking out. That's disturbing.
Both Mel Pleasant and Tiffany Hill say they plan on attending all court appearances to stand up for the child.
There's some people that don't think it's a big deal. You know, she's already dead. She's gone. But it is. At the last minute, stripped that little 4-year-old of her.
Now, allegedly, James and Mary Mast went to church with Ethan Mast, the neighbor, and Courtney Augman. Now, allegedly, the neighbors said that Mary Mast had a demon in her, and Jessica had a demon in her. So that's why that they were beaten on them. Can you believe that James Mast sat there and let these 2 weirdo monsters beat on their little girl, on his little girl? She cried for help, and he couldn't do nothing, or he wouldn't do nothing. Now, he claims he was beat with the wooden spoon. He didn't look like to me he had any injuries in his mugshot. Mary Mast did have a black eye in her mugshot. I'm going to tell you something. There ain't nobody going to come into my home and lay a hand on my son or any of my animals. You would have to kill me first. You'd have to kill me and get me out of the way, because I would not allow it to happen. Here's the thing. Ethan and Courtney, they left the Mast home at some point, and then they came back. So James and Mary Mast had time to call 911 if they were being threatened and beat on. by their neighbors and their kids was being beat on. They could have called 911. They chose not to. They even let these weirdos disable their security cameras in their house. Hey, Lisa, good morning. Elizabeth Forrest. She's a complete monster. Yeah. They were involved in this. They could have stopped these people from beating on their kids and molesting their little girl, but they didn't. They sat there and let it happen. He is a complete wimp, a coward, for sitting there letting someone beat and rape his little girl, 4-year-old little girl. He claims he was beat with a wooden spoon. Why? Ain't no wooden spoon gonna stop me from protecting my child, that's for sure. Can you believe that they went to church? These people went to church together. And they made the parents participate in the sexual abuse with some kind of objects. It's completely disgusting. And for that piece of shit mother to be in court smiling and smirking after they just got through discussing what was done to her little 4-year-old daughter. Can you believe that? It disgusts me to see her smiling like that. I get so mad I can't even put my words together. We're going to keep following this case. I've got to fix the place in my binder for this so I can write down all my information on it. I want to watch this trial. They all deserve the death penalty. I'm not sure if Missouri has the death penalty. Let me look and see. When I read about this case, I can just picture that little girl crying out for help and them sons of bitches just sitting there. Just sitting there, letting her be abused. Let me see if Missouri has death penalty. Yep. Capital punishment is a legal penalty in the U.S. state of Missouri. Well, I hope they seek the death penalty against them because they deserve it. She was tormented. This went on for days. They beat on this little girl and molested her for days. This wasn't just like a one day thing. This went on for several days. I'd like to have jumped through the screen and jerked that mother out of the courtroom and just smacked the shit out of her. Beat the shit out of her for smirking like that. What is funny? Your 4-year-old little girl is dead because you guys let someone beat and rape her and stood there and did nothing because you were cowards. Crap, I'm behind in my chat. Truly sick, CC. There are no words to describe these monsters. I know it, Mike. I get on here sometimes. I don't even know what to say to you guys sometimes when I read this stuff to y'all. I mean, I just get speechless. I mean, what do you say about monsters like this? All you can say is they're monsters, disgusting, deserve the death penalty. See what else is going on before I get off here. Oh, did y'all see that a police officer died in D.C.? I think he got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, and it killed him. Police officer dies after engaging with protesters at U.S. Capitol riot. I'm going to show y'all something. I want y'all to look at these fools climbing on the walls and stuff. What in the hell? I mean, common sense will tell you when you go do things like this, somebody's going to get hurt. You can't just be storming into the White House and the Capitol building. You can't be doing that. You'll get shot. And that's what happened to a lady. She got shot storming the Capitol building. Capitol Police told them to stand down, and they didn't, and she got shot and killed. She was a 14-year Air Force veteran, I think. The U.S. Capitol Police officer confirmed that Officer Brian D. Sicknick died on Thursday night after sustaining injuries during a mob uprising at the U.S. Capitol Wednesday. Oh, there's his picture. Just 42 years old. Officer Sicknick was responding to the riots on Wednesday, January 6, 2021 at the U.S. Capitol and was injured while physically engaging with protesters. He returned to his division office and collapsed. He was taken to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries, the statement reads. Now, Mark was telling me this morning he was hit with a fire extinguisher in the head. Earlier Thursday, following multiple reports that an officer had died, Capitol Police issued a statement denying that any officers had died, while acknowledging that some had been hospitalized. Let's see. He had a stroke. I think he's on life support. We got some misinformation on that. Okay, so that was a statement that was issued Thursday night that he was on life support. The officer is the fifth person to have died in connection to an uprising. One woman, a U.S. Air Force veteran, died in a police-involved shooting, and 3 others died of what police described as separate medical emergencies. According to CNN, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department's Homicide Branch, the U.S. Capitol Police and federal agency partners will investigate Sicknick's death. He was 42 years old. He's a good-looking man, too. So whatever happened to him, he was injured and then went back to his division. It said he returned to his division office and collapsed. Maybe he was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. I mean, I know people's got freedom of speech and, you're free to protest and stuff, but this shit right here is ridiculous. Excuse my language. Like, this is ridiculous. Climbing up the walls of the Capitol building and stuff, storming inside the Capitol building. You can't do stuff like that and expect not to be injured or even killed. Come on now. It's common sense, people. I don't like to talk a lot about politics. That's enough for me. Hey, 100% Pure Love, how are you? Anyhow, I guess that's all the true crime I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to get out and play in the snow, y'all. I'm going to try to build a snowman. If I do, I'll make a video and show y'all my snowman. Tomorrow night, channel members, we're going to play some trivia. I'm going to do some shout outs before we play our trivia. We're going to play trivia. Also, if y'all's interested in doing like a book club, channel members, let me know, because I bought the book, The Stranger Beside Me. And I'd like to start reading that after I get done with this Watts book, which I should be done with sometime today. I'm good, Pure Love. I'm good, just cold. It's snowing here. No snow here, thank God. Hey, I wasn't expecting there to be snow today. I need to start watching the weather. Rockhound Michelle. Yeah, and now people can be identified are going to be charged. I wonder if there will be treason charged. Hey, they should be charged for causing all that ruckus. Storming into the Capitol building. You can't do crap like that. I mean, I hate that lady, that 14-year veteran of the Air Force, that lady that was killed. I feel bad. That's awful. But damn, you can't be storming into the Capitol building. I mean, common sense, you're going to get shot or hurt. Like, I feel bad for her family and stuff, but it's like common sense. Mark is like, oh, but we got the rights to do that. The people own that building. I said, you can't be doing stuff like that. Happy birthday to your son, Never Lose Hope. 25. Oh, him and Elvis had the same birthday. I thought Elvis was 86 today. Is he 86 or 85? If he's 85, Mark's math's wrong. Because I asked him. He said, I won't be able to speak tomorrow evening. I have an out-of-town company coming for a dear friend's funeral. Oh, prayers, Cheryl. I understand. I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. I hate that. I figured out that was you, Michelle. That's all right. I figured out it was you. Yeah, so anyways, tomorrow night, Saturday night, probably around 8, we're going to play some True Crime Trivia. I found us some good trivia, plus I'm writing down some of my own trivia questions. We're going to have fun. Loves confetti cake. Made it easy for me. Oh, I made my son confetti cupcakes the other day. They were so good. Mark's like, those are the best cupcakes I've ever ate. And it's like, I said, it's because I use my fresh eggs in my cake mix. 3 fresh eggs. Made it so moist. So easy to make cupcakes. Okay, guys. I'm busy soon. Shall pop back in chat when can. Take care of. Thanks, Steve, for coming in the chat. Have a good day. Be safe. Anyhow. So tomorrow night is trivia. I may actually change our channel member streams to Saturday night. That just seems to work better for me. That way, I'm not doing 2 streams in one day. It's hard for me to find time to sit down and do a stream for an hour and not be interrupted 100 times, So anyway, Saturday is probably when we're going to do our channel member streams from now on. But anyways, thanks for chatting. Thanks for your support. If there's any updates on the West brothers, I will let you guys know. If you guys see any updates before me, get a hold of me and let me know. Anyways, have a good Friday. I want to get out and play in the snow a little bit. Maybe. Be safe, be kind, and peace. And I'll see you channel members tomorrow night around 8. I'll set up the stream and then I'll share it in a post. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.